Alright, so again, this is Daniel here with the Trader's Corner, back with another trade analysis. Actually, not a trade analysis, more just a market analysis. This is really just me going through the market and um, practicing my timing, practicing my data analysis, practicing, um, just spotting certain things. So this isn't an actual trade I took or anything. Let's say if I do even find a trade, this is just me going through the market and seeing what I can find, seeing if I can spot anything that will help me in my trading and um in this process of Charles, Isaiah, and I developing this new strategy. So yeah, let's get into it. We are on the NZD USD chart on the 1 hour. Um, as you can see, we formed a recent high. We're in a bit of a downtrend. You can see lower highs, and then price came up, and now again, what seems to be a lower high, but don't know that yet. Let's just see what happens. Um, so starting from here, as you can see, price came down very bearishly. And starting from here, it came up, got very choppy, probed up, came right back down, but we did eventually breach this area, came up, use it as support to now push higher. And we've created a smaller double top along with a larger double top, right? So this might make you think that we are short biased. It could be, don't know that yet. Um, I'm still analyzing the market just to see what is really happening. Okay. Alright, so breach above this area again. Price comes up here. Price comes up here again. Then we breach above this area. I'd say everything above this push would be considered buyer's territory. Now, if we start to analyze it from the seller's perspective, alright, so the sell, or I guess you can start from here, it doesn't matter. Here. Price comes down, forms a bottom, comes back up, comes down again, forms a bottom, comes back up, and then finally comes back down again, and then comes up, and then finally breaches that area. So I'd say in between here and in between this miniature breach and this larger breach would be a bit of confusion, because the sellers might think that they're in control, but the buyers, everything above this area, or even even if this area gets breached, we know that this area from before could still hold if price comes all the way back down here, right? So yeah, we know that the buyers overall most likely have control, but the sellers in the short term definitely think they might have control as well. So this is just a waiting game at this point. So what I'm looking for is any indication that the sellers might be dying off. So as you can see, price is coming down very strongly and forms what would be on the lower time frames is I can just go down to the lower time frame, is a bunch of relative equal lows, right? So, so these are all relative equal lows because they're relatively equal, right? Yes, this one is a little bit lower than this one, but it's roughly the same. I wouldn't consider this to be a lower low or anything of that nature. It's relatively equal. So here we are. So after these relative equal lows, you see this push upwards. So price comes down, comes up, comes down, rests 100%, comes down again, and then comes up slightly, and then you see this, you see these wicks come down. It wicks towards that area that this. You see these large wicks indicating indecision, right, from the sellers, um, and right after you see these wicks, you see a bullish push, and this might be an area where I would start to consider my entry. I would probably have entered on this candle, but I'm late to this. I'm late to the market right now, so um, let's just plot it. I'd place it behind there. Aim for about 2R, but um, I'd be fine with getting anywhere around this high, which is about 1.6, but I'm I'm aiming for 2R because I try to aim for around 2R for most of my trades. And I could be wrong. And look at that, I was wrong. Um, I don't think I was wrong. I think I was just early. Price came back up, but then price came right back down very bullishly, very bearishly, I should say. Um, but it is very encouraging that although it did come down very aggressively, it's coming back up just as aggressively. And although this came down very aggressively and it did come back up very aggressively, this is what we would call 100% retracement because it came down very aggressively and then it rested 100% of the amount that it pushed down. So after this 100% retracement, I'm looking for some indication that the sellers are dying, that the sellers are dying off. As you can see, the sellers are having a very hard time pushing lower. We were very choppy coming down. Haven't really made a lower low since this point. Yes, this is a little bit lower than this, but like I said before, it's relative equal lows. We haven't really created a lower low. Price is steadily moving down, pushes up sharply. Now, obviously, here, yes, we've created a lower low. Price pushed up, and now we've pushed lower again. So yeah, we've pushed lower again. we've broken below this area, and now we are challenging this previous area. Let me put a line there just so that we know. Yep, so we're challenging this area. And as you can see, so price came down here sharply, came up, came back down, 100% retracement, moved sideways, came back up, came back down, pushed down a little bit, and then pushed back up more than 100%, probably around 200%. And if I wasn't playing this fast, if I was going candle by candle, or if I was watching this in the live market, this around here would have been the area where I would have looked to enter, because after we see price come down, try to challenge this guy, right? I can delete this and I can delete that. Price tries to come down and challenge this guy over here, and everything above this guy we know is the buyer's territory. So when price comes to challenge here, gets rejected, moves back up, tries to push down again, and then is immediately rejected again, that is confirmation to me that the sell is likely over, right? So this would have been around here, would have been the area I would have looked to enter, but I was a little bit late, so this is where we are now. This is where I'll enter. Place my stop behind there. Still aim for around 2R, which still takes us to around the same area as before. And let's see what happens. I could be wrong again. And like I was just saying before, this is just practice. It's not like I took these trades before. I didn't look at this before and plan out this area. I'm just going through the market and analyzing and seeing what I see, seeing if I can get some practice with my timing, my entering, seeing how well my analysis is playing out, and things of that nature. So we're at about 1R right now. Still plenty of time for this trade to turn around. One idea I've been playing around with would be aiming for this area, right? Because this would be the area that was the mini sellers area that was breached. However, if that was the case, I would have to tighten up my stops, because this area is only 1.3R, and that's not worth it to me. But yeah, so all right, and there we go. So yeah, we were successful on this trade. Yeah, so that was it for this trade review / market analysis, whatever you guys want to call it. This has been Daniel with the Trader's Corner. I'll see you guys in the next one.